Good morning, it is first thing on a Saturday, and I keep buying books. I keep buying them, I keep adding them to my basket, I keep bringing them in, and I have not cleared enough TBR vets for the sheer number of books I've bought in the last 2 weeks alone. But I have, those aren't TBR vets, I have 3 shelves worth of TBR vets, right? Which means that if I cleared these, I could put those new books onto my shelf. And that is what this weekend vlog is going to be. I'm going to be working my way through as many of these as possible. I don't have a set list. I'm going to try and mood read my way through. I am allowed to DNF and unhaul books to move books onto my TBR, but I have to DNF or unhaul 10 to move one book on. So it is counterintuitive for me to DNF as many of these as possible because I would have to DNF like a large majority of them. So I'm starting with a book that I am enjoying that I think I will finish today quite easily, and will then probably either keep or unhaul depending on how the ending goes. So the one I'm starting with is Meg Cabot's Nicola and the Viscount. Now, I haven't read this one before. I have, however, read the other one, which is Victoria and the Rogue, and I really enjoyed it. These are both very kind of Jane Austen-esque YA romances, and I really enjoy Meg Cabot's style of YA romance in general. I really enjoy the banter of this one. This is one where I'm pretty sure the main character is going to get together with her best friend's brother, but in the meantime, she's kind of going through a whole bunch of other stuff with other people, and there's always like a moment of like big peril right in the middle, and I can see it kind of coming a mile away. So depending on whether this scores 3 or 4 stars, it won't be a 5 stars. Like, it's good, but it's not that good. Depending on whether it gets 3 or 4 stars will decide whether I'm going to keep it or not. So I'm going to start with that one, and then I will mood read my way through as many of these this weekend as I can. So I have today and tomorrow to just get them done. I am starting with some sprints over on Becca and Books' channel. She's sprinting today for Bookopoly, which is a vlog that I have started, and books that I am currently working my way through, but I thought this one would be quite an easy vlog to film, and then I'll do the Bookopoly vlog for the last week of Bookopoly instead. So yeah, gonna go do this. It's really nice today. It's really nice and sunny, and it's cold, so I'm gonna be all wrapped up in my blanket. It's gonna be a great time, and I have the whole house to myself for the next 2 weeks, which is just chef's kiss. I love being by myself. So I'm sure I'm gonna get bored at some point, but with this many books, who can be bored? Who could be bored with this many books? Anyway, I'm going to go read, and then I will let you know what I think when I finish it. Okay, so it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm nearly done with this one, which is why I thought I would give you a quick wrap up of it, so I don't end up spoiling the ending. Now, there is something that I really, really like about Meg Cabot's writing, is that she gets a really good understanding of what it is the main character wants, what they are willing to do for it, and how far they're willing to push it. And this character, she cares about her family home, which is really important to her, and she's really pushing to protect that. Got a lot of time, got a lot of respect for that. Didn't like the casual fat phobia. Out of nowhere, this family that she's living with are plus size, and in Georgian Britain that's an issue apparently. I don't know, I really didn't like it. And the main character keeps insulting people for stuff that they're wearing, which is not my favourite. So not sure how I feel about it in general, but it's okay. Just those things are giving me ick. Now I'm having a quick look at what I've got on my shelf that I could read next. And I think I'm going to try The Midnight Library next. One, because it's an audiobook that I've got, as well as a TBR vet, and 2, because I don't think I'm going to enjoy it, and I don't think I need to give it too much time to make my mind up. So I will finish this one, I will then pick up this one, and I will probably DNF it, but I'm not going to be mad at myself if I do. If not, that could be another one that I tick off today, because the audiobook isn't very long. So come on, we can do this. We can read and unhaul one, and definitely move something onto my shelf, and we can maybe start the DNF pile. We can do this, guys. I believe in me. Okay, so it is about 8:15. I am starting to develop a really bad headache. Like, it was kicking off earlier today, but it is getting worse. It is getting worse. And I've taken some painkillers, and I'm probably going to get an early night. But what I'm going to do before that is I've got about 2.5 hours left of a Critical Role episode. So I have just finished The Midnight Library, and actually, for all of my negativity going into it, I can absolutely see why people like it. It is probably one of the better Matt Haig books that I've read. I can definitely see why it's so popular. I'm not going to keep my copy though, because I don't think it's the sort of thing that I'm going to reread. It's very strongly a mental health contemporary, and I don't tend to reread those because I like to see the kind of perspective that the author is going to put on mental health, because obviously everyone has very different mental health requirements or associations, or even just generally like how we view mental health is very different. And I did find that the beginning of Matt Haig's book, that whilst the representation of kind of the self-doubt and the shame and the guilt was very, very well presented, I didn't like that there was kind of this long list of things that went horribly wrong for the author, for the character, so that we could feel empathy for her. I feel like that's kind of the whole point, is that there doesn't actually need to be a list of things that are going horribly in your life for you to still feel those things. It's probably a built-in empathy thing, right? And I get it. It was good. I did enjoy it. It didn't make me cry. There was a bit, however, right at the start where a animal dies, and there's no mention of that in the synopsis. Really could have done with that trigger warning and just didn't know about it at all. And I probably just missed it. It's probably no fault of like any other reviewers or anything. I just didn't see it. There was no kind of mention of it, and that is a trigger for me. So that was about 4 pages in, and to be honest, if I hadn't picked it up, I saw that it was an audiobook on Scribd. If I hadn't picked it up as an audiobook, was it on Scribd? I don't know, it might have been one of the free ones on Audible. I didn't pay for it, that's all I know. I don't think, if it hadn't been an audiobook, I don't know that I would have continued on that basis. And yeah, I'm glad that I did, because now I get to replace it with something else. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to go watch Critical Role. I'm going to have a very, very easy evening now, and then I'm going to crack back on in the morning. I don't know what I'm going to start with, mainly because a lot of the books that I've got, page-wise, are quite long. So I'm going to see how the mood strikes me. But I'm probably also going to have a lie-in so I can sleep this headache off if the painkillers aren't working. But yeah, I just thought I'd catch you up and let you know that I'm now 2 for 2 books. I'm so tempted to keep the Meg Cabot one just so I can have like a Meg Cabot shelf. And I know that I keep switching between Meg Cabot and Meg Cabot. I've always heard that it was Meg Cabot. That's certainly how my teachers introduced the name to me. But everyone on the internet calls her Meg Cabot, which is quite possibly the truth because she's American. Meg Cabot sounds more American. I don't know, but that's to explain why I keep flitting between the two. I'm gonna go, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning, it's Sunday. I am feeling a lot better than I did yesterday, and I have woken up with a selection of options. I wasn't sure whether to do the other Matt Haig book about depression in the same vlog, so I may come back to this one, but this is an option because it's less than 200 pages and I've got an audiobook that's only like 2 hours long. We have Oxygen Mask, which is a graphic novel, so I should get through that very, very quickly. I've got Enola Holmes, which I read before. It's less than 150 pages, but it took me forever to read through it. So I'm going to be doing some like chilled reading hangouts with my friends online. I might pick this one up just because A, it is the shortest, and B, I'm more likely to read it with that kind of accountability, so that's a higher maybe. And I've also got Honest, which is a non-fiction about sex ed, which has lots of graphics in it and like quite big writing, so I should probably get through that one pretty quickly as well. So these two are the two that I'm most inclined to pick up next. But I think I might get to these two at some point today. I also have Blackout, which is a collection of short stories, and I just feel like these, of the ones that I have, are probably the ones that I'm going to get through the quickest. And whilst I only read like 2 books yesterday, and I'm not trying to necessarily burn through my entire TBR vets thing, I would like to be able to pick up quite a few, and I feel like there are some on there that I might try just to see if I want to DNF them, but I don't necessarily want to commit to saying, yeah, I'm going to read those, whereas these ones I feel like I am going to commit to reading. So let's try and read something and finish it this morning. that's today's goal. And then once I've done that, then I will start maybe perusing the ones that I think I'm going to DNF or unhaul. But yeah, so we'll see. And then the great thing is, like, once I'm done reading with books, when I unhaul them, they go to several places. They either go to a charity shop, they go to my flatmate, or they go, if they are YA or middle grade, they go to a local school that I used to work at, and I usually drop my books off there. So I feel like all 4 of these would suit going. I don't, maybe not with some of the depresso ones, but I do feel like, depending on what happens in these books, I may put these in the box going to that secondary school. So we shall see. But yeah, I think I'm going to pick up one of these first. So once I've read something, I'll let you know, and I'll see you in a bit. Turns out, trying to read with my friends on the internet does not actually help me read anything. It has taken me all day. I mean, no, the clock's over there. It has taken me, it's 6:30, and it's taken me that long to read these 2. So I got halfway through this one, realised reading just wasn't going to happen, couldn't really concentrate, had 100 other things I was doing, so then turned the audiobook on for this. The audiobook for this is 2 hours long. I started it 4 hours ago, so I think you can see just kind of the level of attention I've been paying. I've literally just finished it. It took me 4.5 hours to read this. That's it at normal speed, and I normally read an audiobook at like 1.8 to 2 speed. So I was really hoping this was going to be a productive reading weekend, and it just hasn't happened. Also, I don't know why I felt the need to put this high. I was like, yeah, I'll stand on my tiptoes. I didn't. I did when I put it there, and then I look very little, which feel free to laugh at. Feel free to laugh at my very unproductive reading weekend. But that's 3 books, 2 of which I'm definitely unhauling, and 1 that I will probably keep, which will add to the list. I just need to read and keep 4 more, and then I can haul a book as well. I don't want to stop buying books. I like buying books, but I have to read my TBR vets first. So, god damn it. Anyway, right, I'm gonna go see if I can get some more reading done this evening. We've got Babies and Books tonight. We're doing like a practice run because we're hoping to bring that back in the new year. I'm gonna go do that, gonna go have dinner. And if I read anything else before I wrap up in the morning, I will let you know. But let's be honest, it's unlikely. This is going to be the shortest vlog I ever did because I didn't read a whole bunch. And the books I chose were really short, so there's not a whole lot I can tell you about them. I can tell you, this is not what I expected. I expected this to be like a non-fiction of like working through your mental illness and how to deal with it. And I know that it says it's a true story. I didn't realise it was going to straight up be a memoir. I thought it was going to be kind of like other books that I've read where it's like, here's the experience I had, here's what I learned from it, here's what you can take from it. No, it's just a memoir. It's just a memoir of his depression. And whilst it's very, very interesting, reading that straight off the back of reading The Midnight Library was not the smartest idea I've ever had. Why not read super depressing books when you're in the house by yourself, Hannah? Why not? Why not do that to your mental health? What a genius idea. I might as well pick up The Shadows of Rookhaven next, because that will also depress me. And then we can be 3 for 3 on Hannah is messing with her own mental health. Anyway, that's not what this vlog is meant to be. So, as you can see, still got 3 whole shelves full of TBR vets. I might just unhaul a whole bunch to make myself feel better, but I'll do that in the morning. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to try and finish this one first. I'm going to have my dinner first. That's priority numero uno, is having some food. But I'll see you later, whenever that may be. Hello, it's Monday. I did manage to finish Enola Holmes before I went to bed last night. However, I was very disappointed with my 4 books in an entire weekend, especially considering I had no one to distract me except myself, and I still managed to distract myself. So I've decided I'm going to just straight up unhaul 10 of my TBR vets so I can at least move another book onto my shelf. I'm not going to tell you which books I'm moving onto my shelf until I do another TBR vets round, because I'm sure I will get through some others. I've got some TBR vets in my Gothtober TBR, so I imagine there will be more books to come that will kind of go through that. But this is just off the cuff. I don't think I'm interested in reading these books anymore, so let's just get rid of them and then it can all be part of this vlog. So I've got a couple of Meg Cabots. I have been considering unhauling this one for ages. There is I don't even know what it's called anymore, but it has a new title. I think it's called Bad Gods. It's just weird. So this is going to go in the maybe. If I can't find 10, this is going to go in the maybe. Those ones, I would love to unhaul this, because I have no interest in reading Breakfast at Tiffany's, but my mum gifted it to me and signed it. Coughing fit extra. Does that mean it's got to go? I feel like it just tried to kill me. Okay, that one's going in the... These aren't to get rid of. These ones are just ones I didn't get to, so they can go here. Okay, that's... We went to see the play. That was the whole reason she got me this. And the play was shit. Like, it was really bad. Okay, so that's one. I don't think I want to read Feminists Wear Pink and Other Lies. I'm sure there's other great feminist essays out there, and I'm sure there'll be an audiobook of this somewhere. So that's book 2. Fingersmith would be a reread. It's quite a chunky reread. This is a Victorian Gothic about a young girl who was raised by thieves, basically helping people steal from this rich old man by kind of seducing and stealing his heir, who is this young woman. There's like a lot of plot twists and stuff like that. It was really good. It was really good. But I have found that of all the Gothic subgenres, Victorian Gothic is just not my favourite. So I think I'm going to make that 3. You guys can stay, I think. I feel like all of you... Oh, maybe... Kafka Metamorphosis. Am I ever going to read that again? Again, this would be a reread. I had this from uni. No, I don't think I am going to read the Metamorphosis again. Even though it's a very short read, I don't think I'm going to read it again. So that's 4. 4 from the top shelf is not bad, and we've got a spare just in case. Okay, shelf number 2. Modern Nature was one of the first books I bought as like part of a booktube haul, and since buying it I've had absolutely no interest in reading it. I think I've TBR'd it like 3 times and I never read it. I just don't, I'm not interested. So I might put that in the maybe pile. Those ones can stay. Those I only got recently. This is book 3 in a series of 6. I don't have books 1 and 2. Yeah, that can go. There we go. Most of these are quite recent, but the Dante Club... See, I kept this rather than unhauling it last time because I did my dissertation on Dante, and I basically, as part of like a creative writing thing, created my own version of Hell. This is one of the books that I studied. I don't really remember it though, considering I studied it, because I kind of picked and chose which chapters to read to study for. So I think I'm going to put that as a maybe, because I would like to give it a go, but I just don't know that I actually ever will. Like, I never reach for it. I also feel like I'm never actually going to read the Agatha Christie monogram murders ones, and also I hate how tiny this is. I just don't like it. Let's be petty and put it on the list. That's 6. They can all stay. I did consider unhauling my Woman in Black copy, but it's really pretty. I really like that cover. Like, there's nothing interesting on the hardback. I just really enjoy that cover, but no, I'm keeping it for superficial reasons. That's not a good enough reason to keep it, is it? The fact that it looks really nice. It does look really nice. It does look really nice. Maybe. We'll put that in the maybe pile. We're on 6-4 at the moment. Leigh Bardugo can go. I don't need... I got this from Olivia. She was unhauling this, and I thought, yeah, I like Leigh Bardugo. Why not give it a go? And I have just not reached for it since. And I just don't think I care about superhero stories in written context. So that's that one. 7. Only another 3. They are arcs. So really, I need to decide from these ones which ones I would like to keep. My gut instinct is this one because it's prettiest, but also my gut instinct is those 2 because I would read them. I've got absolutely no interest in keeping this other than the fact that it was the first book I bought as a booktuber. And I don't think that's really reason enough. So I'm going to unhaul that one. The reason I kept this one is because it looks really short. And I've never read anything about Angela Carter, which is why I had it, but I just don't think I care about this one either. And I think I care about those two more than I care about this one. I think that's where I'm at. So, oh, the temptation to put it back. I don't know. No, I think I'm going to go with that one. I think, can I find something that I don't want to read more than I don't want to read this? That's the question. See, my other instinct is to go for this one because I really enjoyed the first one, but I unhauled it because it was like, it came out as like a 3.5 to 4 stars as opposed to a 3 stars straight out. And I figure if I do end up liking them, I might unhaul this one because I'm more likely to do this one as an audiobook anyway. And then if I do decide to get the books, I mean, unfortunately, I can't. She's just died. I can't unhaul her book this week. No, I can't. I can't do that. So we're not unhauling that one. I don't know. I don't know which one I want to get rid of. But I also don't want to read them right now. I tell you what, I've nearly unhauled Moxie 100 times. Like last year and this year. Moxie was what started the TBR vets thing for me, in that I had to read something or get rid of it. And like apparently the film's alright, but like I just don't care about the book. I think it's going to be Moxie, because just in comparison to those ones, whilst those were my initial instinct, if I was to wake up tomorrow and I had to read one of these, like in all seriousness, I feel like Moxie, if I had to read one of these, I feel like Moxie would come out last. Because I would rather read creepy alien fantasy porn or a thriller over a young contemporary at the moment. That's just where I'm at. Not that there's anything wrong with that book, that I'm just not interested in it. So, there we go. I'm getting rid of those 10. Oh, God. What a weekend. I mean, this lighting is not great. This makes me look so unwell. But I feel better today than I have done all weekend. So, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this for the carnage that it was. I will be back to my regular scheduled weekly vlogs as of today. Make sure you like and subscribe. Treat yourself to something from Waypoint because it supports me and my content. And most importantly, have a nice day.